256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we're back. We're live. We're brand new. We're off. We're running. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond on a chilly, and I mean chilly, start to your Tuesday morning. How about this? 40 degrees right now. Feels like 31 outside. Your high today is going to be 50 degrees. Safe travels into work, into school, wherever you may be headed. If you're feeling a little chilly this morning, that house may not be cranked up like it's supposed to be. Make sure you give Talent Heating and Air a call, 256-503-4490. Talent Heating and Air, talenthvac.com. And Talent Heating and Air, along with 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Field Day, we are giving you a little party time. December 5th, mark your calendars, December 15th, 5 to 7:30. Got to go to Field Day. If you've not been there, you got to check this place out. Great time to do so. This is our listener appreciation holiday party on December 15th. You bring a toy. We're collecting toys for Tots. You're going to get a free round of miniature golf. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have food. We're going to have fun. We're going to have prizes. Again, Monday, December 15th. Big thank you to Talent Heating and Air helping us get this going. It's going to be at Field Day there on University Drive. We're going to have all kinds of fun. So get on out there. 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can join us here on a Tuesday morning. A lot of stuff to get through today. Alex Golesh officially introduced as Auburn's new head football coach, the 33rd football coach in Auburn history yesterday. We're going to hear from him. Lane Kiffin officially introduced yesterday at LSU. And Lane being Lane mentioned Nick Saban's name. Shouldn't be a problem to it, but it's caused a little bit of controversy. We'll explain why. Grissom graduate, Huntsville native, John Summerall officially introduced yesterday as Florida head football coach. We'll hear from him. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to get through. Oh, by the way, the college football playoff rankings come out tonight. It's like political season out there. It's like political season. These teams are starting to stump for themselves. Vanderbilt stumping for themselves last night, or I should say yesterday. Clark Lee, Candace Story stumping for Vanderbilt yesterday. We'll hear from that. So all kinds of stuff to throw your way here on a Tuesday. But we mentioned Alex Golesh officially introduced yesterday. Here's the new head coach.
Minute by minute, we've got mapped out the entire 6 months as we go forward. These first really 7 days are as critical as anything else. You're right. Hiring a staff, recruiting for signing day Wednesday. I think more important than any of that is meeting with our current players here and truly, a lot of these guys we know, a lot of these guys are in the same footprint that we've been in for a long time. So a lot of these guys in some capacity, somebody on our staff knows through the recruiting process from the beginning, but some of them you don't. And so that is the priorities, our current players here, which is why the first thing we did when I got in was went and talked to our players. From there, the class that's committed and maybe wavering a little bit, working through that part of it, working through the guys that we had been recruiting at the last place that are maybe committed elsewhere, trying to make sure that Wednesday is the very best that it possibly can be. And then lastly, as you get a break in between using the restroom and trying to eat a Dorito, you're trying to finalize hiring a staff, and all of that, you're truly bouncing back and forth. But again, I think the most important thing, and I can't say this enough, is the current players that are here, because these are the guys that have the most immediate choice to make right now. Is either I'm going to stay here and keep with it and build something really, really special, or, man, I don't know if this is for me. But I think my most important priority is our current players, that not to me, but to whoever said, I'm coming to Auburn and I'm part of this Auburn family and I want to do this the right way here. So now everything else comes after that.
That's Alex Golesh on minute by minute, his first priorities there as new Auburn head coach.
Yep. It's be roster retention, adding some pieces in recruiting. You don't have long, trying to keep, the commitments that you have, that if they want to stay with Auburn. Now, I know they lost a big piece of that yesterday. One of the best players in their class flipped to Mississippi State. The safety, Womack, Brian Womack. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But, of course, somebody sent me a message yesterday, had me thinking it was Crain Womack. Womack, where's he going? Going to state? I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? And then I start looking around, and then I'm like, oh, hell, you're talking about the safety. He's like, oh, yeah, my bad, man. I'm not talking about it. Crain, my bad. I was like, well, we're kind of trying to track coaches and stuff right now. But, of course, recruiting is important. It will start tomorrow. But, good get for certainly Jeff Levy and his crew because of, I guess you'd say it's because of stability, because we still don't know if Durkin's staying or going, because I think they're still trying to figure all that out.
He said in the next 24 to 48 hours, they hope to have a clearer picture on that situation.
Well, in other words, some other schools are talking to him, and you're trying to see who's going to pay me the most money. That's basically the way it is. So we'll see, but certainly Ben Golesh, if he loses DJ Durkin, he would have to go in a different direction. But sounds like Golesh has got a plan mapped out. It seemed through social media yesterday that Deuce Knight is going to stay put. I would expect that with the way Golesh runs his offense. I would think Ashton Daniels would want to stay too, and I would think much like a used car that Jackson Arnold's not worth a hell of a lot.
You're not going to get a lot on that trade-in value?
Nah. You might need to go down a step.
I tell you, you can go to University. You can go to Hyundai of Decatur or University Kia, and you can get a lot for your trade-in value there if you're looking for a good trade-in value maybe for this holiday season. 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. So Alex Golish brought it up. He said that, he's trying to get a class in. He's got until tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow is the signing day. It's still a big day, right? I mean, because of the transfer portal, because of everything that opens, because of them only having one signing day, it's still a huge day tomorrow, right?
Well, yeah, I think it's basically a week, Scott. I think it's not just one day. I think it's several days.
Kind of comes over time now,
but it's not a big deal anymore.
Okay, it kind of lost a lot of its lust.
A lot of it, I think.
Yeah,
because they're not signing as many high school players anyway. A lot of them commit early and stay committed and go through the process, or you'll have, flips that happen where you do lose players. Alabama's going to lose J.J. Finch because Freddie Roach once again can't close the deal from Indianapolis, Indiana, defensive lineman that's been committed for months. He's going to, according to the intel I got last night from BamaOnline.com,
right,
part of On3 and Rivals, he's going to end up flipping to Tennessee because they got him in on a visit to watch him get blown out by Vanderbilt, and I guess sell him on the fact that he's sure as hell going to get on the field with that sorry ass defense. And so it sounds like J.J. Finch is going to flip. I had already heard for a few weeks Brian Williams, the wide receiver out of Florida, was the Lakeland area was likely not going to be in the class, so he's not going to be there. So we'll see, but you're going to have it. There was a ton of decommitments yesterday. Just looking at the timeline. Oh, by the way, everybody, I didn't buy $1 million house thanks to some crazy lunatic from crypto. So please don't click on her account or email. They're just trying to rip you off and steal your money.
I did look at your
account. Somebody even told me I bought a car. Well, I didn't see that one. But,
so for those that don't know, Drew's Twitter got hacked.
Yeah, it got hacked and
it's locked.
AC's cousin in Afghanistan or something.
You apparently bought a Cadillac SUV.
So it was a car. I was told that.
Oh no, you didn't just buy a car, brother.
Yeah.
You bought yourself about a $100,000 SUV. Yeah, that's what you brought.
I can't see my own account, so for all y'all that are seeing that, if someone can help me with Twitter and get these dumbasses to get me my account back,
that's your car you bought yesterday.
Okay, I can barely see it, but if somebody can help me and get the Twitter folks to realize it's not me, it's gone from constant posting about sports to all of a sudden I'm buying every $1 million home and car in the world. I think that ought to tell some dumbass from X that it's not my account, that's not me, and that I need some help. And I've already sent you a report, and you're supposed to get my account back.
Yeah.
So get off your ass and do your job, Elon, and get me my damn account back. I don't really care, but get it done. You bought this app, so get it done and have some customer service. Let's go.
Yesterday, apparently, you says you never thought you'd be walking through the doors of your own home.
Yep.
This isn't just a win; it's proof that faith and grind pays off. Forever thankful to my coach for her wisdom, patience, and pushing me past my limits.
Don't know her. I'm sure she's not even from this country.
Bianca Jerkins.
Yeah, she's probably in India. Isn't that a shock? So
that's your coach that helped you get this. Wow, it's a beautiful house, bud.
Yeah.
When you having us over?
Yeah, I know. Right. That's where we're having our listeners party. That's field day, by the way, guys. That's field day. That's the location of field day. Of course it's not. But I'm just saying, if someone can help me with X and get my account back, I'd truly appreciate it. Or if you can file a report as well and on my behalf and tell these idiots that it's not my account anymore, I'd appreciate that. But again, hopefully I'll get the account back at some point, but it's been hacked by some deadbeats that can't do anything better in the world than steal people's X accounts and lie to folks and try to steal your money. You think they could do something to contribute to society, but they basically are related to Lane Kiffin.
Well, this apparently says you have $54,000 in your account.
That was the first one they put up right before the Iron Bowl. Yeah, somebody asked me for a loan. Said, sorry, don't have that kind of bread, dog.
Well, apparently this says you have $54,000 in your one, and you got $1,400 in another one and $254 in another. So
yeah, we've got
apparently you're rolling.
That's how I found out yesterday, I guess, about the house and the car, because I got a message. I had somebody wanting to do some insurance, wanting to talk about insurance for, improved insurance for your house and your car. And I was like, hey man, my condo's paid for. I bought my car a year ago. And then I said, but I appreciate it. I'll keep that under my hat. And then I thought about it for a second. And I was like, yeah.
They saw your Twitter.
I said, yeah. And then I got somebody sent me a picture of the new home. And I said, hey man, my bad. I was like, Alibaba, hacked my account and stole it. So I said, they're just trying to basically steal other people's money too. They want you to give them a shout and they'll try to rip you off, because crypto's a bunch of garbage. I mean, everybody knows that.
All right, let's get it in before the break real fast. Bama Bino spending a minute with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bama Bino.
Hey, guys.
How you
Crazy
doing, man?
Morning, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I feel like Jeremy Pruitt when he was dealing with the University of Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Anything Waddle Fulmer has something that, I honestly think that Fulmer got him up there with the intentions to keep him away from Saban, because that's a dangerous combination. Saban and Pruitt's defense, that's really, really hard to beat. And, I don't really think he ever wanted him for a long term. I think he was just wanting to keep Alabama's dominance down. Because, I think with Pruitt another year or two, I guarantee he wouldn't have dropped Ryan Anderson and Dallas Turner back in coverage playing Tennessee if he was defensive coordinator, instead of allowing them to pressure Hendon Hooker 2-3 years ago. And I guarantee he wouldn't have done that. And I bet you would have won the game. But anyway, I've got a theory on this hacking deal. Reckon, was your house anywhere near Murfreesboro?
I don't know. I don't know really where it is. See, that's another thing. They didn't give it away, because anybody that knows me knows where I live. So if looking at the picture, because I can't see the account anymore.
Oh, we need to share. I mean, dude, this home is like.
Oh, I saw it. I got sent the DM and I looked at it. It didn't give the location. See, that's convenient. They don't do that either. So, because they're a bunch of scumbags.
I mean, this is probably a 6-bedroom house that you purchased.
It's $1 million home, man.
Yeah,
no doubt that I didn't.
I just thought somebody might be mad at getting banned, and it could be in Murfreesboro or somewhere in that area.
Well, first of all, Jeff's not smart enough to do something like that, so. He's too busy. He's probably too busy with a picture of Mark Stoops over his toilet and crying.
I just like the caddy that you purchased.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd give
Didn't give a dealership for that either, I'm sure.
We might investigate that. It could be on that line, but it might not be. But I just first thing I thought of was, is he tech savvy? If it is, then he might be the culprit.
Yeah. All right, Bama Bino.
Talk with you guys.
All right, thanks. Bama Bino joining us. That was, we got to get a break in. Oh, boy. When we come back, Lane Kiffin implies that he got help from somebody, and it's kind of causing a little bit of stir among the college football ranks. We'll explain it all next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings, in Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
This is your home for Alabama football.
Jam Miller, the running back, will get the handoff. He'll stay on his feet. He'll turn it up. He'll go down the sideline. 10-5, touchdown, Alabama. Jam Miller, icing on the cake.
This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Sitting in the back of a long line.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, welcome back into the program. 7:21 here on a Tuesday morning. And 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You want to join the program this morning, feel free to do so. We mentioned yesterday was a big day. Alex Golesh introduced as Auburn head coach. John Summerall introduced as Florida head coach. Lane Kiffin also introduced as LSU head football coach. And Lane being Lane. Here is Lane yesterday talking about Nick Saban, indirectly talking about Nick Saban.
You know, Coach Saban kind of coached at another place in this conference, so I can't really say exactly what he said, but I'll say I think the world of Coach Saban, and I respect him, and so there's a reason I'm here.
Implying that Nick Saban told him to and advised him to take the LSU job. Now, that has started a firestorm on social media because Nick Saban is still technically advising Alabama, still employed by Alabama. And because of his role on ESPN and everything, there's a lot of people questioning ethically, is that right for Nick Saban to make a advisory decision like that if he's in fact did advise Lane Kiffin on going to LSU? Nothing?
Piss on Lane Kiffin. Should have never made it public. You don't make conversations like that public. The only reason he is because he's a narcissistic piece of trash. And trying to make himself look like the victim when he's not. He's a peckerhead. He's overrated. I hope he never wins an SEC or a national championship at LSU. I will be the first one laughing at him if he doesn't. And I'm going to count it down every year that he chokes.
You mentioned trying to make himself
Sunday,
the good guy in all of this.
I was told
he did. Here is Lane trying to make himself the good guy yesterday.
Sunday, that's why things kept getting pushed back. That I was told that we couldn't keep this thing in place and coach the playoffs. So
didn't deserve
I'd already
to.
made the decision at that point and informed them Saturday night. That this is what we were going to do, and that was a really hard conversation with Keith. Really hard.
Yeah, I'm sure it was really hard, considering they made you the most overpaid coach in America.
Through okay, all right. Yes, there's disappointment in that, but how can we do the best? Knowing that I'm going to be the head coach of LSU for the future down the road, how could we do the best interest and of the players and give the players the best chance to win and make a run at the national championship in playoffs and most likely, as I said, their most historic sporting event in the history of the state of Mississippi, a home playoff game. And it didn't work out. And it came back the next day. It's why there was a team meeting, whatever it was, 9. And
they told you to get the hell out of the team
meeting. Thought it was going that direction. We met with the players.
Because they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire now.
Keith, and the players said, okay, let's do this. And and I get it. I understand it, and they just couldn't wrap their head around doing that. And I understand it. And
there you go. Basically putting the blame back on Ole Miss, saying, hey, look, I tried. I did my best. I wanted to stay. They told me no.
And they should have. I mean, and the calendar needs to change. But even if the calendar had changed, to January, where you'd have player movement after the season's over, if you knew he was going to leave, and he was, and of course they would. But to be honest with you, if they were gonna do that, they're gonna have to change the calendar and change the recruiting deal too, because they're gonna have to go back to, February and they might just need to go back to the old system and letting kids who want to sign with a school and not a coach early enroll. But if you want to wait and see if Lane Kiffin's lying, which he does, 95% of the time, then you can, not sign and wait till February and then wait till the end of. But see, the problem is that the college football playoffs. But of course, hopefully Lane Kiffin will never have to worry about playing in like mid-January, because he's never done it before, unless Nick Saban propped his ass up and allowed him to.
Right.
So hopefully, most of the time he just has the best roster in the SEC last year and can't beat Kentucky at home. So that's usually the Lane Kiffin. But now I'm sure he'll pawn that off on Wild Turkey Pete Golding, who's now the head coach. But I will blame Lane Kiffin, because he's never won anything except in Conference USA. I don't care about going 11-1 at Ole Miss. That's great. They did do that. But again, when the
LSU's going to pay his bonuses
against Georgia, I know they're going to pay his bonuses.
If Ole Miss wins games in the college football playoffs, if they're in there, they win games, Lane Kiffin would get a bonus. Yeah. LSU is going to pay said bonuses that he would get at Ole Miss.
They spent too much damn money on that, blah, 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 wasting all this money. That's not wasting money.
Yeah, because remember, the governor said the next football coach that we have at LSU, we are going to be financially and fiscally responsible.
It's what it means.
And they're not.
A lot of politicians are FOS. Can't say that on this show the way I'd like to, but the guy is about as big a liar as Lane Kiffin.
Full of sticky.
Yeah.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Wolverine Dan with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Well, I'm getting the indication that Drew doesn't like Kiffin.
No, I do not.
Wow. I mean, that is like
Didn't like him when he was at Alabama. Don't like him now. I'm never going to like him. And he should never represent the University of Alabama ever again because he's a pissant.
All right. Then I'll probably already know the answer. I'll ask the question. Who's a better coach, DeBoer or Kiffin?
I'll take Kellen DeBoer 10 out of 10 times. At least the guy's got some integrity, and hopefully he'll hand him his ass when he's at LSU.
And he's played in the college football national championship
he's actually
game.
won games that matter instead of choked all over himself and then burnt popcorn. Get your popcorn ready, and then you go out there and you get your ass blown out by Alabama. The guy's overrated. LSU can have him. I mean, Matt Moscona, who I respect a ton, the sound bites out there. He was talking about how much better a coach Brian Kelly was than him last year. And now all of a sudden Lane Kiffin's the Messiah. Give me a break. He's not the Messiah. He's living off his dad's name, just like the Shulas.
Wow.
The Shulas ain't worth 10 cents either. Sure, all those steakhouses are closed, especially in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, Drew, you're a wealth of knowledge. But lately, man, I feel a little worried, man. You're really hot, man, under the collar a lot.
Hey, man.
We're 6 hours from Florida. Why don't you go to the beach, man? Chill out for a week.
Nah, I'm good, man. We got somebody else take 6,529 vacations. I work.
Oh, yeah. But you are funny too. I'll give you that. Okay. But Drew, listen, man, try to have a great day.
Appreciate it, Dan.
Maybe go out there, Edgar's to get a strawberry cake or something with a cup of coffee.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Well, just so you know, there are 4 Shula steakhouses still in existence.
Wow, they actually do exist still. They're all in Florida, right?
2 are in Florida. 1 is in Chicago,
wow.
And 1 is in Chandler, Arizona.
Well, 1 in Chicago is probably money laundering for Obama.
All right. 256-576-4977. You can join us here on this show this morning. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll head to Gainesville. We will check in with our good friend John Summerall. We'll hear from him.
That was a great press conference. You're talking about a press conference. I watched that entire thing.
Yes.
He knocked that out of the park. That's what you're supposed to sound like being a new head coach. And he had Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier.
Yes, he did.
I mean,
and Danny Werfel.
Danny Werfel was on the search committee, helped, get him to Florida. Yep. Florida hit this out of the park, and John was outstanding. I thought that was a tremendous press conference. It was nearly an hour long. I really enjoyed it. I thought he laid out his entire plan. I thought he sounded like a head coach. He didn't sound like a mealy-mouthed lying piece of sack of trash like the one in Baton Rouge. So you can call Baton Rouge all you want, but they're going to disconnect the phones after they have to fire his ass in 4 years.
We're going to get a break in. We'll hear from John Summerall coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be cold as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 20s across the Tennessee Valley. A mostly to partly sunny sky. Wednesday afternoon, we are going to climb into the upper 40s, lower 50s, and then drop into the mid and upper 30s. More cloud cover for your Thursday. There is going to be a chance of rain on Thursday. Otherwise, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 40s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN-TV.
So we headed for the swamp and it followed him in, but the Almighty grew up in the chasing the wind. Look out for that snake, Sheriff.
Look out for that snake, son.
Perfect line by one of my favorites of all time, the late, great Jerry Reed, because that's what Lane Kiffin is. He's a snake, a self-serving piece of trash.
Well, we want to invite you to our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Talent Heating and Air Field Day, our listener appreciation party on Monday, December 15th, 5 p.m. over at Field Day. Beautiful venue, brand new venue. You're going to be able to bring a toy for Toys for Tots. You're going to get a free round of miniature golf. We're going to have food. Look, you can come at 5 o'clock, come at 5:30, whenever. Stay till 7:30. That's when we'll be there. But you can also stay with us. We can watch Monday Night Football. We can hang out, have a good time. Monday, December 15th over at Field Day, listener appreciation party. All of the toys collected will go for Toys for Tots. Want to invite you to be a part of that. Before we get to the phone lines real fast, we did mention that John Summerall officially introduced yesterday as Florida head football coach. And remember, Billy Napier was a group of 5 coach as well. But John was asked yesterday about coming in and having a message to the fan base about just being not just another group of 5 head coach, what kind of separates him. Take a listen, because this is, you want to get fired up?
Hi, Coach. Cam Parker with Florida Gators on SI. A lot was made about the coaching search in general here. I think some fans were maybe even concerned about a group of 5 head coach coming in.
Yeah.
What gives you maybe the conviction that you're the right guy for the job, and your message for the fan base that you can win a championship here?
Yeah, no two people are the same. Okay. And Coach Meyer, you coached G5 football, I think, right? Yeah. Kurt Signetti coached G5, I think. I actually coached against Kurt some. No two people are the same. You know, just because you're a reporter, I may have had an interaction with another reporter and not liked it, doesn't mean I'm going to judge you that way. judge me for who I am. I'm a winner. We're going to win. And just give me a shot. Believe in me. Here's the deal. I need everybody pulling the rope the same direction. Because if anybody's pulling the other direction, it don't make the job easier. It makes it harder. If we're all Gators, we all want to win, let's do this together. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. Let's go together.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way to approach it. And, I know you've heard of the legend, who's a moron, by the way. He's an Alabama fan, so everybody can't just say that I just stoop for Alabama fans and I don't ever call him out. But the legend is an idiot. He calls the Feinbaum show all the time. His backstory. He's rehabbed himself from a long prison term, but he's an idiot. He gave Florida an F- for basically hiring John Summerall. He wouldn't know a football from a basketball.
He gave them an F.
Yeah, he did. And I can't wait to shove it right back up his rear end when John Summerall wins big. And trust me, Scott, you know me, I'm going to shove it up as you know what. I don't care if I end up getting into an X war if I ever get my account back, because I think the dickhead follows me. And that's what he is. Well, but, and I challenge him, if he hears this, call the show. I will eviscerate you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know anything about John Summerall, you pinhead. This isn't Billy Napier 2.0. So stay in your lane and go can barbecue sauce or whatever it is you do. But you don't know anything except how to call the Feinbaum show and act like a retard. All right? So you can't even use your real name. You know what I'm saying? But you're trash. You don't know John Summerall at all. Yeah. So stay in your lane, shut your mouth, and just go use your persona for whatever you do. But you don't know anything about football. You've called out DeBoer a million times, and you look like an idiot now too. So zip it. You don't speak for Alabama fans because you're a buffoon.
Let's go out to the phone lines. Let's visit with Sean real fast. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Doing good. Bud. How are you?
I don't know about y'all, but I am so sick of this whole Lane Kiffin crap. I basically quit. I shut myself off YouTube, all kinds of. I shut myself off Feinbaum years ago because of the same thing. It's all the same bull crap. But John Summerall, Florida's the main winner in this. To me, they got Summerall, and you listen to his press conference. It's not. Well, I got screwed by this person, this, that, the other, this school. I'm a winner. I'm going to show you. So get behind me. That's the coach that everybody wants, in my opinion. Why would you not? Another winner. Thank God for those Ohio State guys. Dan called in, and we didn't have to hear him squeal like a pig about his Michigan.
Well, they're good at basketball. They suck at everything else.
Well, yeah, even didn't his Lions get beat this week too?
Yeah, they're not even in the playoffs right now. They are underachieving.
Yeah, so
they're talented, but they're not playing very well right now. And then Michigan, they're going to a bowl game. They had a good year, but they're not in the playoff. They never should have been anyway.
Yep. I love Dan to death, but man, stuff gets old. Oh me. But yeah, this whole Lane, I thought, okay, it's finally over. The Saturdays here, Lane's making it's gotten 10 times worse. I'm sick of hearing about him. That dude is a snake in the grass. Anytime I hear any Alabama fans say they wanted Lane, it makes me want to puke in my mouth.
Now, there were a couple that called the show and wanted
Pat from Tuscaloosa.
That
they all
championing for him to be the next head coach.
They all wanted Lane Kiffin, and like I said,
it makes me want to puke in my mouth. He ain't nothing but a drama queen. He's won nothing. And you can say DeBoer's won nothing too, but at least he made it to a national championship game.
And I firmly believe this, man. I really do.
DeBoer's won at a Big 12 or Pac-12 at the time.
But if his last name was Lane Smith, he I'm not even sure he would have got some of these opportunities. I'm sorry, but a lot of people respected, and I respected his dad. His dad was a hell of a coach, hell of a defensive mind.
Monty Kiffin is an angel compared to Lane.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
Lane,
but yeah.
To to me, Lane's like the guy that in a group of room, he's the one that gets arrested for. I can't say that. So let's put it this way: he's the guy that gets arrested for in a group of church people. He's the guy that gets arrested for swindling people out of money.
Yeah. You mean the con artist of the group?
Yeah. I was going to say something else that's probably not radio appropriate.
Right.
But I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about everywhere.
Oh, I got it. We got you. I mean, because he's been the biggest story in college football because he wants to be.
But look at the two different ones.
Rivalry week because of this clown.
Yeah, look at the two different people.
Yeah.
Look at how Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss to go to LSU.
Right.
And look at how John Summerall left Tulane to go to Florida.
John didn't make it about himself. He made it about his team.
And Tulane was like, we are more than gracious to let you finish coaching the season, coach this weekend in the American Conference Championship game. If we get to the playoffs, yes, come coach the playoffs. We want you to finish this as much. And John Summerall even said yesterday that, hey, look, I told guys to sign at Tulane because I'm not going to try to get you to come to Florida.
Right.
Go to Tulane because you go to Tulane. I'm not going to steal you to go to Florida.
And I'm not going to blackmail you into either getting on the plane or not having a job.
Yes.
I mean, Lane Kiffin is trash.
Right, well, one last point, and I'll get off here and let somebody else talk. Ole Miss didn't handle this correctly either, in my opinion.
No, they didn't. They could have put his feet to the fire and said, look, make a decision now. I mean, they let him drag this out.
They let him drag this junk
Yes.
out. Yes. And I think LSU kind of did it. If the reports are correct, the LSU told Lane, we'll wait on you. Finish your season, finish coaching your players. And if that is true, then I actually got a little bit of respect for LSU. But I don't know if that's true or not. Half the crap you hear is not true.
Well, I'll be honest. The only reason LSU
Sean, thanks for the phone
wanted
call.
him to finish to coaching his team is so he could steal half the players and as he was going out the door and get some of them to come to LSU. That's the only reason they wanted to do that. I mean, give me a break. Like there's some, I don't give LSU any credit in the whole thing, especially with the governor getting involved and then basically and all that bloviating he did right after they hired Brian Kelly. Then you go out and give Lane Kiffin all this money for not coaching that has nothing to do with anything he's ever done at LSU.
Oh, if his buyout is unreal at LSU.
I know he gets 80% of the money.
Yes.
Lane will never have to work another day in his life.
The governor, we're going to be fiscally responsible the next time we hire a football coach. We're not going to just go out and give him millions of dollars.
Lane's trophy case as a head coach has as many trophies as Notre Dame since 1988. It's like real dusty.
We got to get a break in. When we come back, we'll get back out to the phone lines to wrap up hour number 1, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is the 2025 SEC Football Championship game.
And Alabama is headed to Atlanta again.
Touchdown, Dogs are SEC champions. Join us Saturday as the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs vie for the SEC Championship.
And we are moments away. And as you might imagine, the energy level is super high.
Kickoff is at 3 on your home for SEC football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound midsize one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
The holidays are here, and so is the holiday pizzazz at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers. At Loring & Company, they know this season is all about family, time, and meaningful connections. And when it comes to finding that perfect gift, they make it easy, enjoyable, and unforgettable. Step into a sparkling world of the world's most desired jewelry brands, all in one place. Their friendly, experienced staff is ready to help you discover something extraordinary. Whether you're shopping for a spouse, a parent, a child, or treating yourself to a little festive shine, finding the right gift doesn't have to be stressful. At Loring & Company Fine Jewelers, it's a pleasure. They'll help you choose a piece that says exactly what you want it to say, beautifully. This holiday season, let the Loring family welcome you into theirs. Visit Loring & Company Fine Jewelers at 800 Airport Road in Huntsville and shop anytime at loringjewelers.com. Add a little holiday pizzazz to your celebrations at Loring & Company Fine Jewelers.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama, located online at universitykia.com.
Well, Alabama helping us come back here, 7:49. Love that song, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
7:49 on a Tuesday morning. Fantastic. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Let's get in Richard here real fast. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Richard.
Morning, guys. Drew, I got a good one. You know a lot of the inside story on when Lane was at Alabama. How many times do you think Lane's listened to advice from Nick Saban over the years?
Maybe just 3 days ago,
What?
4 days ago, 5 maybe, when he was trying to get the LSU job and make a lot of money. He didn't listen to him once at Alabama, I can tell you that.
No. He makes it look like, he was like a father figure to him and he listened to him. Yeah. Like I said, you can't repeat the stories over the radio, but
Nope.
he didn't listen to him very often in Tuscaloosa at all, like zero.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, it's a minor miracle that Alabama didn't have a 30 for 30 about them with Lane Kiffin and the trouble he could have gotten the university in, or almost did. And basically, they, in order for the betterment of the football program, had to cover it up, but he was an abject disaster.
Yeah, like I said, he didn't listen to him once, but all of a sudden when he tries to deflect the blame and, kind of blame it on Saban for him going there, I listened to Nick.
Oh yeah. Make myself look good. Yeah. He's my father figure. He and Pete Carroll. What happened to Pete Carroll at the end at USC, Richard?
Cheaty Petey.
Oh. and they made a 30 for 30 about Pete, and it wasn't good.
Yep.
So
Petey, he learned. I guess he learned from the best out there.
There you go.
Drew, we got our good friend Will Wade coming into Auburn on Wednesday.
Yeah, we do. It's a double header. Alabama and Auburn will both be playing in the ACC Big East, or excuse me, SEC ACC Challenge. Pardon me, the SEC ACC Challenge. The thing that Jeff hates the most. Because he probably knows North Carolina is going to beat Kentucky, but again, like we said, it's interesting. Alabama is going to take on Clemson, a program they've become very familiar with the last few years, and as you said, Will Wade, former LSU disgraced head coach, is bringing his NC State Wolfpack, who are off to a rough start, by the way. They're coming to Neville Arena to hopefully get their tails kicked by Stephen Pearl and Simon Walker and the Tigers.
Yeah, like I said, we get Will back in the state for at least a day anyway. So he came in last year. I guess he came in with McNeese against Bama last year, so he was back in last year.
And got blown out
for a game. Tell you one thing, you're talking about UNC. It may have been the guy David Sisk does. May have been him. But basically, what's crazy is, Caleb Wilson is just tearing it up, for UNC. But they were saying basically if Stevenson's not on the floor with him, they can't score.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Basically,
yeah.
It's not a very good offensive team. And Wilson's, I saw Wilson play over in high school and actually coached
Atlanta. Yep.
Bruce Pearl was there watching him.
Mm-hmm.
How good he was. When I saw him play over in Atlanta a few years ago.
He played for Holy Innocents, right?
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yeah.
I saw Reed and Cheryl play. I saw the Bantha play. I saw the Boozer brothers play the same day. I mean, it's like one of these one-day event deals in Atlanta. And like I said, the Boozer brothers both played out. So, just a lot of talent in one day over there. But like I said, they were saying, I'm just going, Stevenson, if he's not on the court with him, they have trouble scoring. I go, that's not a good sign.
No, it's not. And I know Tom Izzo's group has really been giant killers, and looks like they've got a really good team. And I know they smoked North Carolina on Thanksgiving Day. So they've been slaying several blue bloods so far early in the season.
They always, Michigan State always does, though. I mean, they don't, kind of like Nate, they don't avoid anybody.
No, Michigan State, Tom Izzo, he's really challenged this year's group.
Yeah, he really has.
They've really played. I mean, they've like always, but
yeah. Hey, and Richard, I'm sure you'll be in Tuscaloosa tomorrow night. I certainly will as well. But if you want to see yes, sir. But if you want to, and congratulations on the story with you and your crew in the Tuscaloosa News with Emily Smar, and she does a great job covering Alabama basketball, and with Michael Southern too of Tide Hoops History, but who's I know part of y'all's group. But I also wanted to say, if you want to see a high level game tonight over at Huntsville High is playing Chattanooga Christian at 7:30 over at Huntsville High tonight.
Try to get over there then. See you guys later then.
Thanks, Richard. To your point, the ACC SEC Men's Challenge begins tonight.
Right.
Tennessee will take on Syracuse up there in the Dome. That one's on the road.
Tennessee should slaughter them.
South Carolina is going to host Virginia Tech. Wake Forest is going to host Oklahoma. Pitt's going to host Texas A&M.
Let's go, Bucky.
The good one is Duke is hosting Florida tonight.
Yeah.
That is 4 versus 15. That should be good. Ole Miss in Miami, Florida State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Missouri, and Kentucky and North Carolina to wrap up the night tonight on the hardwood.
Let's go Heels.
And then tomorrow, the rest of the matchups, Arkansas and Louisville. That one should be pretty good. That one's in Fayetteville. Arkansas just holding on inside the top 25 at number 25. And then Alabama, Clemson, you mentioned, Vanderbilt, SMU, Boston College, LSU, Auburn, NC State, Texas, Virginia, and Georgia Tech, Mississippi State. That's your ACC, SEC challenge for the year. So
there you go.
Yeah. There was college basketball last night, by the way, here in the state. Cornelius
big win on the road for UNA.
Yeah, Cornelius Williams, his 4th straight double-double.
North Alabama center for UNA.
Yep, North Alabama was down by 8 at the half, comes back and gets Jack State on the road, 73-66, your final there.
Good second half from Tony Pujols' Lions as they get a nice road win.
Their first road win of the year, by the way.
Good job by UNA.
All right, just about done with hour number 1. We have talked about, we've ran down all the new head coaches, introduced you to all the new head coaches because of their official announcements yesterday. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we will head back down to Baton Rouge, or Lafayette, I should say. But we will detour to Baton Rouge.
He'll be talking some Baton Rouge.
Yes, because Raymond Partsch will join us. We'll get the I guess you could say the feeling, the temperature of Lane Kiffin. I know the LSU faithful are excited, but is there any apprehension? That's an awful big word for me just to roll out there. Is there any apprehension on the LSU fan base or with the LSU fan base in hiring Lane Kiffin? They got a name. They did get a name hire.
Yeah.
But did they get the best hire out there?
No, because they should have hired John Summerall, but he'll beat their ass when he's at Florida, and I will enjoy it every time.
And make sure you circle. There's a few dates to circle on your calendar next college football season because LSU travels to Ole Miss next year to play college football.
Might be some mustard flying out of the stands. Better be ready.
The temperature in Oxford next year.
It's going to be a whole lot worse than when I was there in 2014 and he came back to Tennessee for the first time.
Woo.
And, of course, Alabama won that game impressively. I hope the shoe's on the other foot this time. I've criticized Wild Turkey. And, again, Pete did a pretty good job at Alabama. I just didn't think he was elite. But I certainly hope he beats Lane Kiffin every time. I'll be rooting hard for him.
All right. We will talk all that and more. Raymond Partsch on the flip side. We're going to kick off hour number 2, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Georgia Bulldogs bet up from a 1.5 favorite to a 2.5 favorite over Alabama in the SEC title game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. The total 47.5. Friday night, Troy visiting James Madison as a 21.5 underdog in the Sun Belt Championship game. In Conference USA, Jacksonville State hosting Kennesaw State as a 1.5 home favorite. 58.5 the total for the CUSA crown. In the NFL, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London is day today with a knee injury. Falcons plus 7.5 at home with the Seattle Seahawks at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 43.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back in. Hour 2, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMedAlabama.com. Find them online, the official medical providers for the UAH Chargers, which, by the way, they have a home right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and you'll be able to listen to UAH basketball coming your way Thursday and Saturday. Chargers on the road Thursday at West Alabama, on the road Thursday at Valdosta State. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center will bring you those games live Thursday and Friday. We kicked off the show. We were like, hey, we got a lot to talk about because Alex Golesh officially introduced as Auburn head football coach. John Summerall officially introduced as Florida head football coach. And Lane Kiffin officially introduced as LSU head football coach. And we talked about the little controversy that's coming with him mentioning Nick Saban's name yesterday there in the press conference. But Lane also trying to do his best public relations spin and paint a picture that he really wanted to stay at Ole Miss and finish the journey that was created this year, but Ole Miss said no, and then he's off to LSU.
Well, our next guest, he has his finger on the pulse in the state of Louisiana. No one I respect more. You can give him a follow at RP3_sports. Of course, he's on from 11 to 1 on ESPN Southwest Louisiana. It's RP3 and Mesh. They've had plenty to talk about in the state of Louisiana over the last couple of weeks. We had him on when he talked about this coaching search. Well, it came to fruition. They got their guy, and they're in their minds the biggest fish out there, Lane Kiffin. I think he's something you need to throw back in the water, but that's just me because I don't think he's worth it. But I respect this man's opinion. I respect his knowledge, and I wanted to get his thoughts on it. And we're talking, of course, about Raymond Partsch, and RP3 is going to join us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. There'll be tons to talk about on his show later today, but we're going to talk some Lane Kiffin and LSU right now as we bring him back into the conversation. Raymond, you're back with Drew and Scott in Huntsville. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. How are y'all?
We're good. I mean, look, let me just also put this out there too. I mean, Raymond is Brother Raymond. He's a Methodist pastor, so I need to clean my language up right now. But I've been a little bit harsh this morning.
He's been salty this morning towards Lane.
I've never liked Lane, Raymond. You and I have talked about this via text. I've never been a fan. I think LSU, is making a mistake here, in my opinion. But your thoughts on this whole ordeal and Lane Kiffin coming to the Bayou?
Okay, so where can we begin? Well, let's begin with let's begin with Lane first and foremost. Is he a brilliant, offensive-minded coach? Yes. Has he had immense success with his offenses everywhere he's pretty much been, right? I mean, we look at what he was able to do to help Alabama kind of get into the next century when it came to modern football.
That's very true.
3 yards in a cloud of dust and playing defense. He helped transform Alabama, in particular its offense under Nick Saban. He wins. He does win. We see in the later part of his career here, he won 2 conference championships at Florida Atlantic. He goes to Ole Miss. It's probably the best 6-year run in that program's history, and he has them going to the playoff. Here's the counter argument. He's never won anything as a head coach, like big-time titles. Mm-hmm. He's won 3 national titles, 2 as an assistant at USC under Pete Carroll, and 1, of course, under Alabama. Mm-hmm. But there's always been questions about Lane in coaching in big games. And members of the media here in the state of Louisiana have amnesia because they're all celebrating the hiring of Lane Kiffin, when many of them were critical and said that Lane Kiffin was a worse coach than Brian Kelly, who they just fired. So Amen. I just want to remind folks of that because we have amnesia. He doesn't always deliver in the biggest games. So that's something that you have to worry about. And the other thing is, every place he's ever been in his coaching career, every place has ended poorly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Every place.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Go back to the Raiders. That ended poorly. Of course, Al Davis pulls out the slideshow and goes with the PowerPoint presentation on why Lane Kiffin is, hoodwinked him. Okay? But we all thought, well, that's just Al Davis. He's old. He's kind of crazy himself. He's kind of an egomaniac. So that's just, no one succeeds under Al Davis. But then he goes to Tennessee. And look, I have no love for the Tennessee Volunteers, personally.
Amen.
I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
I hate them. I
look what he did to them. Right? I mean, look, he left them in the middle of the night to go back to USC.
Yes.
Well, then USC, it doesn't work out. He gets fired on the tarmac. Well, then he has to go to the Nick Saban coaching school of, rehab coaching school, like so many others did. And people start to respect Lane again. And people start to go, hey, maybe this guy has matured and maybe this guy has grown up. Well, then Saban himself has to fire him because he takes the Florida Atlantic job and he wasn't being focused on trying to help Alabama win a national championship. So he boots him out the door, if you remember, and they had to go with Sark in an interim role for the national championship game. Like, he's not even prepared to do that. So that ended poorly. Nothing happened at Florida Atlantic. But then Ole Miss decides, because they're Ole Miss, they're like, look, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance to coach in a big conference again, to be a head coach. Because if you remember, no one wanted Lane Kiffin. That's why he took the Florida Atlantic job.
True.
And even when he was at Florida Atlantic, people weren't clamoring for Lane Kiffin to be the head coach. And don't forget, 4 years ago, LSU didn't even get him an interview. Florida didn't give him an interview. That was just 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, good points.
So, and then he's at Ole Miss, and we go through the whole thing where he sits down with Ryan McGee, which was a great little ESPN-produced television product, where he talks about how, Oxford basically saved his life, and he got sober in Oxford, and he reconnected with his family, and his ex-wife moved there so he could spend more time with his kids, and he's doing the yoga, and he's more mature, and blah, 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 and he loves this place. And then he makes the decision. I just want to point this out to everyone. No one forced Lane Kiffin to leave Ole Miss.
No.
This whole narrative that's being put out there that, Ole Miss wouldn't let him of course Ole Miss wouldn't let him coach his team. He's leaving them voluntarily to go to a rival school, to go coach a rival school. Like, in what universe, what world, what job do you have in this world where you can go to your boss and you go, hey, boss, you guys have been great to me. You really saved my life. I love it here. But I'm going to go take this other job because I feel like I can win national titles there, and I don't think I can do it here. But you know what? I really want to stay here for the next month or so, and I'm going to take some people with me as well. Is that cool? Is that okay? Can we do that? And what upsets me more than anything, and once again, I'm not an LSU fan. I'm not an Ole Miss fan. Okay, I'm just from maybe this is the pastor in me. I don't know. It's just so disingenuous. And to make it out, for him to sit there and make it out like he's the victim in all of this because Ole Miss, poor bad Ole Miss, wouldn't let him coach. Dude, you made the decision to leave. You were interviewing for another job while you still had your job, while you still had your teams in the playoff. If Alabama would have lost to Auburn last Saturday, Ole Miss is in Atlanta this Saturday playing for the SEC championship. Mm-hmm. And this guy's interviewing for another job. So this whole thing of he's the victim, no, he's not the victim. And it's the same old Lane. Like I heard people say yesterday, well, he seemed really sincere during the press conference. He seems sincere in the SEC network television special. He has seemed sincere in multiple interviews over the years. If you keep appearing to be sincere and then you keep doing things that aren't sincere, you're not sincere. That's how that works. That's how that works. This guy is leaving a team that's making the playoff to go to another school, a rival school. And I warn LSU fans, and I know I'm ranting. I warn LSU fans. I go, guys, what makes you think he's not going to do this to you? What makes you think in his entire career, this man is leaving a place where he found sobriety? This man is leaving a place where he reconnected with his kids. This man is leaving a place that gave him a chance to be a head coach again at the largest level when no one else wanted him to be at that level. He's leaving a team that is making the playoff and has a chance of winning a national championship. What makes you think he's not going to do the same thing to you?
He has no choice but to win a national title at LSU, right? I mean, there's not, with the way that he has left everything, the way that he's arriving there, everything that LSU is doing. I think Brian Kelly would maybe a little bit different, but Lane Kiffin has no choice but to win a national title, right?
If you don't win a national title at an LSU post-Saban era, you get fired. Guys that even won national titles were fired. Like, there's no drop-off here. Brian Kelly is the winningest coach in Notre Dame history. And we can talk all day about him being a bad fit and blah, 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 and the dumb accent that he would use and the stupid videos and all that stuff, okay? But Brian Kelly won a lot of football games. You don't win 300-some-odd games if you can't coach, right? We can all agree to that. Mm-hmm. Was Brian Kelly a good fit in the SEC? No. Do I think Brian Kelly thought it was going to be easy for him and because of LSU's resources and their facilities and so forth, and the talent pool in the state, I think he thought it was going to be easy. And I think he didn't coach as hard as probably he should have.
Mm-hmm.
But they fired him because he wasn't winning. And so that's the expectation. Do I think it's a realistic expectation for LSU to be winning national titles all the time? No, because I'm old enough to remember when LSU wasn't even winning SEC titles. But I digress. If that's the expectation, then that's the expectation. And the other thing that just so I talked to you guys weeks ago about the whole thing with the governor, right?
Yeah, well, you talk.
Yes,
right. We're not going to give out this big contract. We're not going to do this, and this. Well, that was all a sham. It was all a sham because then they decided to go ahead and pay Brian Kelly his full buyout. They decided not to fight that. They're going to go ahead and pay him. Technically, right now, they're paying Lane Kiffin to be their head coach. They're going to be paying Brian Kelly not to be their head coach, and they still have one more payment here in a couple days for Ed Orgeron not to be their head coach. And then there's talk about bringing him on as a staff member. And I go, and it's our poll question today at my station, and it's overwhelmingly everyone's like, yeah, that'd be great. You just fired the guy 5 years ago because he ran the program into the ground after helping get it to unbelievable heights. He lost the locker room, and then he buried the program, so much so that you only had 35 scholarship players for a bowl game when Brian Kelly took over. But everyone's like, yeah, bring back, oh, it's great. He speaks Cajun French. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, Coach O. It is insanity here in this state. Absolute bananas, crazy pills taking all the time, where we make a big deal about the governor makes all this big deal, and then what do? Well, Lane Kiffin's buyout is 80% of his full salary. And now all of a sudden Lane Kiffin is going to be the highest paid coach in college football, along with Kirby Smart. Last time I checked, Kirby Smart's won 2 national championships as a head coach. But I digress. What the market does, and Jimmy Sexton does his job, and he does it well, even though I think he's a bigger part of the problem with modern college athletics. But I digress. We don't have enough time on your radio show today to go into that. But so we're giving Lane this huge contract.
Mm-hmm.
And a huge buyout, and we're still going to pay Brian Kelly his buyout. And I'm just so all that was for nothing. Basically, it was because the governor didn't like the head coach and didn't like the AD, so now they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, and now, but I will say this, Lane Kiffin better win because Vern Osbury, who's taken over as AD, he's going to be a big attached to Lane Kiffin. And then, like you said, Brian Kelly won. He just didn't win championships. And if Lane Kiffin does the same thing, I'm just telling you, LSU may be revisiting the same situation in 3 or 4 years.
They will be. And look, they could be revisiting this situation in 3 to 4 years for a multitude of reasons. They could be doing it because Lane Kiffin hasn't elevated LSU back to where they want it to be, being a college football playoff team and competing for championships.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be they could be in the same situation in 3 to 4 years because Lane Kiffin decided he wanted to go back to the NFL.
Huh. Yeah.
I just, once again, look, could it work out? Sure. Anything's possible. Okay. Anything's possible. It could work out. Sure. And he could finally figure it out, and he could have Nick Saban talking to his ear, because don't deny this. And I'm going to say it to a lot of folks. The reason why Lane Kiffin is at LSU is because of Nick Saban.
Yeah, we talked about that, yeah.
Make no bones about it. If you remembered from a few weeks ago when Verge Osbury took over as interim athletic director and then acting athletic director and then athletic director, and that old nonsense, he made sure that he said, I talk to Nick Saban every few weeks. We have good conversations every few weeks. Coach and I are still close. And you know how close Lane is with Nick. And we know how Nick sat there and stumped on the set of College Game Day with him and Kirk Herbstreit talking about how, Lane deserves to be able to coach his team.
Mm-hmm.
After he already fired Lane for the same thing. This is the world we live in. Where, okay, Lane was distracted focusing on Florida Atlantic as they prepared for a national championship.
Right.
That wasn't good enough for Coach Saban then, so he fired Lane. Said, go ahead, kick rocks. Get on your way. We'll figure it out. But now that Lane's doing the same thing as a head coach and trying to leave for a school that Nick Saban still has an immense amount of respect for, now it's okay. Now Lane should be allowed to coach Ole Miss through the play. Like, I just want you to think about that these are the words that are being uttered by Saban and Herb Street and Lane Kiffin and a lot of people in the media that are saying that, well, he deserves. Once again, I asked the question and no one can answer it to me. Mm-hmm. No one's given me a legitimate answer. If you're a parts runner, if you're working at a factory, if you're working at a radio station, let's say, Drew, let's say you're there and you go to your boss today and you go, hey, man, it's been great. Love it here. Built my career here. Got a great morning show. Got a great co-host. But you know what? I got this opportunity to go to your direct competition. And no matter what offer you give me, I'm leaving. But here's the deal. Because we get to talk about Alabama maybe winning a national championship and making a run into the playoff, I want to stick around and be able to lead this station for the next month and a half. And then at the end of it, I'm probably going to take a producer or two, and whoever the nice young man that called me today, you just use him for example. I'm going to take him. Okay, is that cool? Do you think your boss is going to let you do that, Drew?
No.
Okay, there we go. There we go. There's no job in America, whether it's McDonald's or Wall Street or everything in between, construction, it does not matter, where this would be allowed. This is the bigger problem about college athletics and college football, that these guys think that it's like, he literally thought in his brain that Ole Miss was going to say, well, you know what, Lane? All righty then, that's great. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and give you a big old Mississippi farewell. Like, no. Who in their right mind will allow that to happen? You're choosing to quit on your team, and that's what he's doing. We can phrase it however we want to. Better opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Whatever rationalization we want to come up with, it's just a rationalization. The fact of the matter is that Lane Kiffin made the decision to quit on Ole Miss because he wanted to go to greener pastures. This is the same guy, by the way, that infamously tweeted out the whole thing about greener pastures, the Denzel Washington quote. Yeah. This is the same guy. The same guy. And now we find out that maybe Juice Kiffin is not even his dog. What's that about?
I saw that this morning. We heard that on the Chuck Oliver Show. You can hear that each and every morning, Tuesday through Friday on 97.7 The Zone. Yeah, absolutely. It is hilarious. Juice Kiffin. He, once again, disingenuous. I'll use your term, Brother Raymond. That is 100% correct. Well, man, great stuff. Great segment as always. Great insight. I know you guys, you and Mesh today are going to have tons of conversation about this and more, but let everybody know how to connect with you at ESPN Southwest Louisiana.
Yeah, you can simply download the ESPN 103.7 Lafayette mobile app. It's free for your Apple or your Android devices. You can also go to ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com and just click on the tab at the top of the homepage, and you can stream us through your desktop computer as well.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Raymond.
Thank y'all.
Let's get that break in when we come back. The college football playoff rankings come out tonight. Vanderbilt stumping for a spot in the top.
The SEC should probably get sick of some of these other sad sack pieces of trash.
Clark Lee.
By the way, Ole Miss doesn't deserve to be penalized at all, those players, even if their coach is a disingenuous piece of garbage.
We'll find out tonight. Says the guy that rolls up in a Cadillac SUV.
Yeah. Who? I don't.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live heartfully. Live Stella.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. Are those new school clothes wearing out that old washer and dryer? Well, it's time to get off the bus at Owen Home Appliance Center and learn what a new Speed Queen washer can do for you. They're in stock and are ready for delivery now. At Owen Home Appliance Center, quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name, Owen Home Appliance Center. 2 locations to serve you, Highway 36 in Somerville and the interactive location at Highway 231 in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time by improving processes, and Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher. And go Army.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN Zone. The college football playoff rankings come out tonight. These, I don't want to say they're the most important ones because obviously the last one that comes out is the most important one because those are the final 12.
Yeah.
But this one that comes out tonight, you're really going to be able to read between the committee's lines and figure out who's going to get in and who's not going to get in. Because there's really not going to be a lot of changes because championship weekend, really, you're going to get a lot of just seeding out of it. This one here is the big one. Vanderbilt is going to get a lot of conversation. Should Vanderbilt be in the top 12? Should Vanderbilt not be in the top 12? Well, yesterday, Candace Story-Lee, the Bob Jones alum,
athletic
director for Vanderbilt, she started stumping for Vanderbilt, as did their head coach. Here is Clark Lee stumping for Vanderbilt to be in the top 12.
Is because I don't think that we were respected at the level we should have been respected, like the quality of team that we are. And so, you know, when you look at LSU, Missouri, and Tennessee, they finished 23-0 against unranked teams. They were 0-13 against the top 14. And speaking specifically about LSU, you know, they have 5 losses. Those losses are Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss. I mean, you know, Missouri has 4 losses: Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Alabama. Tennessee has 4 losses: Vanderbilt, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Alabama. I mean, this is about a league that is the playoffs. When you play in the SEC every week, you are in the playoffs. And so I know there's a lot of talk about the SEC and the bias towards the strength of our league, but just, look at the teams, look at the performances, understand exactly what the gauntlet is that we go through to get to this point. We have a 10-2 SEC football team. And at the end of the day, in my mind, that should be enough. And I think some of those teams were discounted because they lost to Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt's got a damn good football team.
They certainly do. If they had a Longhorn on their helmet, they'd be a lock.
No doubt. No doubt.
Or a gold helmet like Notre Dame. Who in the hell has Notre Dame played? Who in the hell have they beat? They basically should be in the ACC, which is a Bush League conference. Who has Miami beat? They've beaten nobody. If you put Notre Dame through the gauntlet just that you just heard from Clark Lee,
right,
and you put Miami through that gauntlet with the coaching acumen of Mario Cristobal, who I love as a recruiter, but he couldn't coach his way through a wet paper sack, then Miami's losing 4 or 5 games a year, and Notre Dame, they're going to have to put their head in a toilet because they're never going to win ever again.
Notre Dame has beaten such powerhouses this year. They've lost to Miami and Texas A&M right out of the gates. Then they turned around and rattled off wins against Purdue,
who,
Arkansas,
who,
Boise State,
who,
NC State,
who,
Southern Cal,
who,
Boston College,
who,
Navy,
who,
Pittsburgh,
who,
Syracuse,
who,
and Stanford.
That certainly doesn't sound like the SEC to me. It looks like it's about 3 decent wins, and the rest of it's just utter trash.
Pitt, Southern Cal,
Navy,
yeah.
But most of that's just trash. I'm sorry. And yes, they whipped Arkansas.
Well, they did.
But Arkansas was 2-10. There are going to be SEC teams that aren't good. Okay.
Well, there are going to be people that argue that say Vanderbilt, while their name schedule looked good, they beat Charleston Southern and Virginia Tech. They beat South Carolina, not bowl eligible. They beat Georgia State.
Well, South Carolina almost beat Texas A&M and Alabama.
They beat Utah State. They lost to Alabama. They beat LSU. They beat Missouri. They beat Auburn, Kentucky, who just fired their head coach because they were not good, and they beat Tennessee. So, yes, Vanderbilt, 10-2, great record, but there's going to be people that argue that Vanderbilt's wins and Vanderbilt's schedule was not a murderer's row of SEC games.
All I got to say is this, and I'm going to be rooting hard for Tulane to beat North Texas and get in. But the winner of that game, because of this agreement, they're going to have a group of 6 programs.
Yes.
Get into the playoff and get slaughtered, because that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. We saw. I love John Summerall. I think he's going to be a superstar at Florida. But we saw what happened to them against Ole Miss. They got completely eviscerated.
Yes.
Okay. And that's what's going to happen.
And there's some idiots out there that believe because John got eviscerated by Ole Miss that he should not be the Florida coach because he cannot beat the big teams.
Well, he beat Northwestern. He's beaten some teams, some Power 4 teams, no question about it. So, but all I'm going to say is, but there's no way if Duke wins the ACC, which would be a joke, there's no way that you put in both Tulane and James Madison. They didn't, because James Madison sure as hell didn't beat anybody. They shouldn't be in there. You should go and get I don't care how many teams come in from the SEC, as long as they're one of the 12 best teams in the country. It shouldn't matter. Just like the logic last year from the ACC. Did you see how good a game that was between Sad Sack, Clemson, and SMU? What a football game. How can both of these teams not be top 12 teams in America? How many playoff games did either one of them teams win? Yep, the silence is deafening because they got the hell beat out of them, both of them. It was a waste of time. If you want to build the best playoff, you don't go to the Bush leagues and get it. You don't do the Democratic thing. You go get the 12 best teams and you play them. Yes. The reason this country is in the toilet and Donald Trump's having to dig it out is because of what happened the last 4 years, because you let a bunch of dumbass Democrats run the country into the ground. And this committee's about as stupid as those people.
All right. Jake Crain is really smart, and he'll join us after the break. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. It is going to be chilly. Temperatures only climbing into the upper 30s and lower 40s, dropping into the mid and upper 20s as we head into the overnight. A mostly to partly sunny sky on Wednesday. We are going to be a little bit warmer. Highs climbing into the upper 40s, lower 50s, and then dropping into the mid and upper 30s as we head into the overnight early Thursday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the play.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, 8:35 Tuesday morning edition, and we've gotten everyone fired up. We've heard from Alex Golish. We've heard from Lane Kiffin. We have heard from John Summerall. We've heard from Clark Lee. We've thrown everything at you we can but the kitchen sink, and now we're going to throw that at you.
Yeah, because Jake Crane's joining us a little early this week. We always appreciate his candor and his flexibility. He's, of course, co-host of Crain and Company via the Real Daily Wire. They've had tons to talk about. This coaching carousel has been unreal. Of course, we've been the majority of this show today has been about Lane Kiffin spurning Ole Miss to go to LSU. But we wanted to get his thoughts on that and the new era at Auburn with Alex Golish, because now we have heard from Alex Golish officially. We had his press conference yesterday. This was interesting because I think being a member of the media, as Jake has been for a long time now, myself as well, this whole weekend was sleep deprivation because you were basically trying to follow every storyline. But we're going to talk to Jake Crain now and get his thoughts on the new era at Auburn, his thoughts on Lane Kiffin and the pending college football playoff rankings tonight as he joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Jake, good morning. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh man, I did. I hope everybody else out there did as well. Ate a lot. The fried turkey's the way to go. If you've ever had a fried turkey, I don't know how you ever eat it another way, but that's just me. But yeah,
they're awesome. You're right.
The only thing that's been better than that has been watching just the absolute madness around college football on and off the field, and obviously with the way the calendar is, the coaching carousel kind of matching up with not only the playoff reveal and stuff, but also signing day that's coming up as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's kind of signing day is just kind of it's tomorrow, but because of everything in college football, the way it is, the way it's structured, the transfer portal, and everything, you almost forget that it's tomorrow.
Well, man, I remember the days when, I would skip school as a kid on signing day in February. It was such a huge deal that was by itself. You had y'all remember when it was crazy about the grad transfers and everybody freaked out about that? Imagine freaking out about that now with what we have. But, yeah, man, the calendar's so screwed up. And to be honest with you, I actually like that, and it's not early signing day. It is signing day in December. The late windows just for guys with grades and maybe a couple holdovers that are just good enough to do it. But we need to figure out a way to obviously fix the timeline to where you don't have coaches that can just leave whenever. But with the transfer portal as well, and now the one transfer portal window, it's obviously not the cock of the walk anymore like it used to be. It used to, man, golly. You talk about monitoring rivals and that stuff all day. I remember those days.
Yeah, absolutely. But what are your thoughts on the Alex Golesh era? Because it was really interesting. In the Iron Bowl, it was, and I know I watched you guys' reaction on Crain and Company. It was just the same story, different verse with Auburn and missing an opportunity. But when they said there was going to be an announcement by 10 a.m. the next morning, myself, I know you guys, a lot of people thought, okay, with John Summerall going to Florida, it looks like they're just going to hire DJ Durkin, and then everything shifted about 1 or 2 a.m.
Yeah, it seemed like everyone was twerking for Durkin at that point, especially after what happened with Summerall, and I told the story on what I was told from somebody that I trust that hasn't been wrong, and it turns out he wasn't wrong. And if you don't believe me, if you don't think it was going to be Durkin until late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, just listen to Alex Golesh talk to the team for the first time.
Right.
He literally said, John Cohen called me at 1 a.m. in the morning on Sunday morning and offered me the job. So
there you go.
It looked like it was going that way, and that which I don't think that would have been the best thing to happen to Auburn. Summerall was my number one, but Golesh, a guy that I was fortunate enough to meet at Iowa State and clinic with when I was coaching at Iowa Western up there, and he was always real cool. The thing I like is the mentality. The soft serve stuff is done. If you want to be a youth pastor, go start a church camp. This is about creating good men, yes, right? Creating good fathers and husbands, yes, but also winning football games. The soft serve stuff is over, and Golesh doesn't play that game, and he believes, just like the real ones do, and he said it before, like I've said it, even though a lot of Auburn fans were crying in their hands about it, and that's okay. Winners win and losers lose. You can be mad about it, you can be happy about it, but facts are facts.
And he also went on to say yesterday that, look, sometimes you have to, coaches are all about systems. Well, he's about taking a system and making it fit the quarterback that you have, not just so concerned about running a system.
Well, people always say styles make fights. Well, I say fighters make styles. So, at the end of the day, it's kind of that same line of thinking. You don't want to, and that's why I'm telling you, man, and I will believe this till the day I die. That's why I feel like every coach should have to coach high school for at least 1 to 2 years. And I know there's recruiting in high school, but what it does for you as a coach, you realize, at least at most places, I'm not going to have the same crop of guys every year with the same skill set. And I don't control who I have. So therefore I have to adjust what I do to who I have. And I think that's why, you have coaches that are able to win consistently, but in multiple ways, and you're able to be malleable. Because even if you're able to recruit players at the college level, there's not a guarantee that guys are going to have the exact same skill set as the guy you had before. So you want those core principles, right? You want that style philosophically, whether that's toughness or, being a run to pass team, that's great. But sometimes you do have to adjust to be able to get the, maxed out the efficiency level of your players and your team.
Yeah, that's very true. And what are you hearing? Do you think that Durkin will be retained by Golish?
Man, these are the hardest parts of trying to do what we do with coaching searches, because there's so many moving parts.
Right.
And on one hand, if you're Golish, you would like to retain the best parts of the roster, but you don't want to have to maybe sacrifice bringing over a guy that you really want or trust for guys that have been there that have lost all these games for the last 4 or 5 years, or last 2 to 3 years. Everybody talks about Auburn's roster retention and being scared. Well, look, if I want to bring a car back in 2026, I want it to work. This hasn't worked. So at the end of the day, you got to go get the best guy you think for the long term. You can't be held hostage by a couple guys that can't win 6 games.
Interesting.
So you mentioned that John Summerall was your number one guy. He ultimately ends up in Florida. And obviously we pay a lot of attention to John because he's from here. He's from North Alabama, Grissom grad. Boy, he handled his press conference very well yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, look, John's just a killer, man. And I mean that in a good way. Like, I just, to me, his attitude, and look, I think Golish has some of this too. It's just Summerall's been a little bit more high profile for longer, so he's more well known. It's you just have some guys that get it, man. Like they just get it. You can tell by the way they talk. You can tell by the way they walk. You can tell by the way the players listen to them. And this whole you got to talk to Gen Z kids different. Look, real recognize real at the end of the day. Like it's funny, you can fool grown adults more than you can fool an 18 to 20-year-old kid right now, because they see fake people every single day more than anybody. So it's not just, what scheme are you running or play calling. It's about knowing who to hire, right? And John knows that. And then it's about, knowing how to communicate and being able to develop that killer mindset that doesn't get bored with the process. You heard a very a strong word that you heard Saban say all the time: process, process, process. Well, you heard the word process in Golish's press conference yesterday. You heard the word process with John Summerall. That's what it is, man. It's an assembly line that you got to somehow make fun so that you can get the best plane out at the end of the day.
Well, and I think it was a great hire by Florida. Certainly going to be interesting to see what Golish can do and the staff that he puts together at Auburn. What were your thoughts ultimately on how Lane Kiffin handled things and how Ole Miss turned out with promoting Pete Golding?
Well, Drew, as I've said multiple times on my show, on y'all's show, I'm a firm believer in two things can be true at once. And I think in our society today, a lot of people just don't see that. It has to be one or the other. It has to be, this or that, a Republican or Democrat, or this, that, and the other. Two things can't be true at once, but they can. Like, one, the calendar, it puts these coaches in a really tough spot. It really does. I mean, and you've heard that from multiple coaches, even the ones that don't like Lane Kiffin. When you have the structure that we have, it is going to make it tough when you get towards the end of the year. But also, on the other hand, I think Lane Kiffin could have handled this better, especially early when he was trolling on social media.
Yeah.
That's the part to me that's like, look, man, I get it. It's part of your rep. You're a great troll on social media. It's fun when you get into it with other coaches and you're winning and doing all this. But there's a time and a place, and there's like a line I don't think you cross. And it just seems to me that Lane, as much as he's grown, I think, and matured off the field, he still has that little bit of Dennis the Menace to him, right? Like, he just can't walk by that thing without pulling a prank on it. even though he's 45. Like it's so. I don't think he's the devil for doing it. Like I don't think he's an idiot because I think LSU is still a better job than Ole Miss.
Right.
I don't know how when you coached a group of guys. I know they have transfers that have come in, but you've been in a place that's been building towards this. You're in the SEC. You're 11-1, most likely hosting a college football playoff game. And you leave not to go to the NFL, which would never happen because their rules are way better than ours, but to go to another SEC team. I just don't know how, like, that takes a lot of, well, I have to do this, I guess. So it's tough. And I think, look, if you're Keith Carter and Ole Miss's AD, I wouldn't let you coach. I mean, what I've said is if I found out today, December 2nd, my wife cheated on me and she wanted to stay through Christmas, man, hell no, you got to go. So I just think he's a victim of circumstance and, severe narcissism.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Well, what are your thoughts on Championship Saturday? We've been watching this on ESPN Get Up this morning. Sounds like they don't believe Alabama's got a great shot to make the playoff if they lose to Georgia. Personally, I think if BYU loses to Texas Tech, Alabama should be in anyway. Your thoughts about the SEC championship matchup and Alabama's future?
Well, to be honest with you, and I know you guys don't, you form your own opinions. If you're relying on Get Up to tell you stuff about college football, then I think you should be held down, to be honest. But that's just me.
I would agree.
What blows my mind is we have all this parity and all this change in college football, and yet here we sit once again, Alabama and Georgia in the SEC championship. Game 35. We might as well just play this game earlier in the year to get it out of the way. But I don't think trends or, Kirby can't beat Bama, and none of that stuff really matters. Nobody's ever been running a route, and while they're thinking of it, they're like, man, our coach just can't beat Alabama. I'm gonna screw this route up. I just know it. Like that's not how it works. If you go back and you actually watch that first Bama Georgia game, the fact that Bama won that game is insane.
Yeah, it is.
When you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
The only thing that stands out that you're like, okay, I can see it, is that Bama went 13 of 19 on third down. The fact that you couldn't run the ball and you still went 13 of 19 on the road at Georgia, it's either an anomaly or, good God, you were cooking in the passing game on third down. Or you were just living in 3rd and 1 or 2. Then you go look at – and Georgia ran for, 230?
That's right.
Something like that against Bama the first time. Yet Bama found a way to win. And, look, some teams – it's not about how you win. It's if you win. And it just seems Alabama, this team, just like Georgia, for the most part, finds a way to win. And probably the most intriguing thing to me is we've watched Alabama's defense improve. All right. We've seen Georgia's not pass rush improve, but their run game, their run stopping ability on defense is really, really tough. But to me, what I think is the most intriguing thing is the quarterback run game in this one. We know that Gunner is a little more built in the run game than what Ty is, but what did we see Ty do a couple times against Auburn? A little bit more than we've seen him in the past. Keep the ball on the zone read. Not to be afraid to tuck in and run it. How much will Ty Simpson's legs be incorporated in this game plan to open up the run a little bit more for Bama and get into, advantageous passing downs where Georgia has struggled to rush the passer consistently? So, look, this one, trying to say that this team doesn't have a good shot to win it in this game is absolutely asinine. Just go look at the spread. But if I'm an Alabama fan, I've got to be feeling a lot better about the kicking game after what happened in Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, no question about it. And then if BYU does lose to Texas Tech, if they lose, say it is a 1.5 point spread, if Alabama loses a tight one to Georgia, are they still in your mind?
I think both should be in. This is why we don't need to have a group of 5 automatic spot. What are we doing?
Exactly.
Why do we do this?
Why?
Why do we do this?
Why?
And people are like, oh, well, they'll never get in if you don't. No. I watched Cincinnati make a 4-team, buddy. I watched Boise State not only make the 12-team but get a bye.
Oh.
So I don't want to hear any of this. Oh, the group of 5 will never make it. And everybody hates us because we're the redheaded stepchild. No, it's the dumbest thing that we do. But it does feel like BYU would get left at the dance, right? especially if Texas Tech beats them the way they beat them last time.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world in which a 10-3 Bama is left out in that 3 being the SEC championship game. I just don't see it.
Well, good stuff. Great job by Jake Crain as always.
Hey, quickly though, Drew.
Yeah, go ahead.
But if you're a Bama fan, you want Duke to win.
Huh?
You want Duke to beat Virginia badly because Duke won't get in.
No.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true as well. And who knows with the ACC. Well, Jake, we appreciate it. Let everybody know what you guys have cooking.
Oh, yeah, man. Look, you just go over to YouTube. It's Crain & Company, Crain & Company. We've got all the stuff on the coaching situations. We put out our full Alabama, Georgia, and Indiana, Ohio State championship week previews. And today we're going to play a game for the first time. And, God, I just sound like that clown from the Saw movies, but I'm not, I promise. We're going to play a game called Make That Case. And we're taking each bubble team, and we're going to try and make a case on why they should be in the college football playoffs. So don't miss it.
Thanks, Jake.
Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Let's wrap it all up. Your tomorrow's headlines next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
I'm here with Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
TalentHVAC.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid.
All right, that's going to do it for our 2 hours. Just like that, tomorrow we will run down the college football playoff rankings. We'll have that for you. Wednesday show, Grady the Greek will give us a call because we'll have his prediction, the 8th grader prognosticator for the SEC championship game. And we've got to start setting the table for that. We got a lot to do.
Yeah, signing day tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so a lot to get through. We only got 3 more days.
Shout out to Mark Andrzejewski. He's going to sign with Army.
Yep, Mark, and yes, he will do so tomorrow at noon.